Hello and welcome to this special show on Rajya Sabha Television. I am Vishal Dahiya and you're watching our show in which we bring you all the details about India's fight against COVID-19. Now, after a phase of intense lockdown where we managed to bring down the numbers in terms of infections and also put in place the entire mechanism to fight that long-term war against this particular pandemic, now is the time for unlocking. That's of allowing public activities, and that is being done in a phased manner, with the first phase beginning from 1st of June onwards, and few more decisions being taken from 8th of June onwards. So this will be a phased unlocking of the public activities, and we will today discuss about the norms, guidelines, as well as what as citizens we must do to go ahead and ensure that we keep ourselves safe and others as well. So let's begin the show, and let us begin by introducing the guests we have with us on the show today, beginning with Dr. Puneet Mishra. He is the professor of the Center for Community Medicine at AIIMS. We also have with us Ms. Urvashi Prasad. She is the public policy specialist at Niti Aayog, and Ms. Padmja Singh, the Joint Secretary with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And we also have Ms. Kavita Narayan, the Technical Advisor from the Ministry of Health and Family Affairs as well. Let me begin the show with you, Ms. Singh, and let's try and make our viewers understand the entire concept or the reason behind starting this unlocking and allowing public activities, and how this is being done in a phased manner, and what are the norms and or the guidelines for that.
So this is, I think, as we are opening up, we're going undoing the lockdown, so to say. It's a return to normalcy, and we are going back to our socio-economic activities. I think that is the basic importance, is that we need to now get going. The government has already enunciated the policies. They've done it via their order of 30th May 2020. They've spelled out the details of the policy. What essentially is the thing is that all activities are allowed. There are containment zones and there are non-containment zones have been demarcated. And in the non-containment zones, all activities will be allowed from now on. From 8th of June onwards, the activities will be spelled out for religious places, the hotels, the restaurants, shopping malls. These will be open. People can get going with their activities provided they follow the SOPs. And these SOPs are what the ministries are currently working on. And these will be out in the public domain in a short while. Of course, what is expected is that people continue with their social distancing, they continue with wearing their masks, they continue with observing their hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene. Those are the basics. And there are several more SOPs depending on the sectors that open up. For instance, there'll be a little more details for restaurants. There'll be different detailing for the cinema halls, for the religious places as well. What is expected of the general public is that we observe these basics to keep safe. I think so long as we are safe, we can continue with our activities and we can participate increasingly in the socio-economic activities of the country. So that's from 8th June onwards. And thereafter in July, I think the schools, the states and will be allowed to open up the schools, provided they have a consultation process. It's after a consultation process that the schools will open up. And again, there will be SOPs for the schools to follow so that the children are safe. Thereafter, there's yet another third phase which will come on, where the metros, the decisions will be taken for opening up the metros, international air travel, cinema halls, the swimming pools, entertainment parks, etc. Now, the key to all of this is that maintain social distancing and maintain the the wearing of the face cover and hand hygiene. And I just wanted to also highlight that the government has come up with this campaign, which is called Badal Kar Apna Vyavhar, Kare Corona Parvar. And again, they are enunciating the three basic the norms that we need to follow from now onwards, and which I've already spelled out.
Okay. Okay, let me also bring in Ms. Kavita Narayan from the Health Ministry itself. Ms. Narayan, in terms of the readiness, as far as we as a system, as a country, in terms of starting this unlocking phase, and the entire health system, how prepared are we with that aspect? Because so far the lockdown was in place, people were not moving, or if at all that was allowed, there was a restricted movement. But from here onwards, it'll be a different ball game altogether.
I think in terms of readiness, Vishal, I think it's key to remember that from a government and a policy perspective, I think we have done all we can in terms of there was first obviously the lockdown, right? So about 2.5 months ago we had to do the lockdown. That was also it was done it was done in a phased fashion. Very similarly, after about almost close to, we're now at about close to 80 days. Again, this has to be unlocked also in a phase-wise manner, which was what Madam Padmaja was talking about. This has indeed been done so that people also have the time, to have the readiness in order to start making this the new normal, what we are calling, because people have to now learn to live with it. So what we have essentially done is provided the tools, and sort of all of the SOPs, what is to be done, what is not, the guidelines. Those provisioning is obviously the work of what we envision as a government. But I think, Vishal, in sort of making this successful, the big element is going to be in the hands of the citizens themselves. Because if you think about it, whether it's a simple thing, some of you may have seen this Akshay Kumar ad that's going on. I think it beautifully talks about the three most essential and simple ways. We really don't have a vaccine yet. We don't have a drug yet. We don't have any answers to the solution yet. But covering your face with a mask, hand washing, as well as physical distancing from people, which is at least, the 2 gaj ki duri we're talking about. These are the most simple and essential things that people can do today and continue to do their normal normal affairs. So in terms of the readiness, the system has done everything we can, whether it's procuring ventilators, getting beds ready, training our doctors. We train close to 70 some lakh trainings have been conducted as of yesterday. So we have done everything we can in order to ensure that we can mitigate this crisis from a policy standpoint and from a process standpoint. But it obviously is going to be it's got to be a cooperative approach where we also hope that all of these guidelines are meaningless unless the public is actually going to be able to incorporate them and ensure that they can put this in place. So combination of, I think, the government working closely with the citizens and with all of the institutions is really what's going to make this lockdown successful. I think we've done all our part and we're ready. Now it's obviously up to the rollout of this itself.
Okay. Let me bring in Dr. Puneet Mishra here. From a health professional's perspective, Dr. Mishra, and specifically the one who's been in the thick of all things here, how would you look at the transition from the lockdown to the unlocking phase and the way it is being done and what needs to be done from the citizen's perspective?
Yeah, it's a very important question which you have raised here. We were in the lockdown, and during lockdown, most of the people, they have understood what is the importance of social distancing and hand washing. So this was kind of activity where everybody they were made aware about a few things, and on the other hand, hospitals, they were prepared for it if there are more number of cases they are coming. But what I am from very beginning, I mean maybe from March, what I am saying that the most important thing is that each and every one of us should behave like a responsible citizen. And this, I think this increases with the lockdown process which has been started, because any government, they cannot sustain a prolonged lockdown because of many factors, economy and other things. And I think now government has taken this step in the right direction. But as my co-panelist has emphasized earlier, the most important thing is that public, they should now act as, they should come up and behave responsibly. And what I mean by that they should avoid unnecessary travel, and they should follow the government guidelines. Whenever they are meeting other people, they should follow the social distancing, that is 2 gaj ki duri. They should follow, they should wear the mask and follow the hand hygiene. I mean, they have to sanitize their hands, they have to do proper hand washing. So these precautions, they will definitely limit the infection, because at this stage, what we want, that economic activities and the normal life, it should go on as normal as possible. and also we can limit the spread of infection. So there comes the responsibility of each and every citizen. I think government has doing their part, but the last part has to be done by the citizens themselves. If they will take care, we will really be, in this difficult time, we will definitely win over this corona epidemic, and this unlockdown process would be successful with very few infections coming up.
Okay, and we'll come to the specifics as far as the citizens are concerned in terms of the advice from the healthcare, professional out there. But let me first bring in Urvashi. Urvashi, from your perspective, the way the policy shift has been made from lockdown to the unlock phase one, how do you see this shift? And since this is going to be a gradual one, looks like it might not be very difficult to ease down into the unlock phase one by one.
Yeah, I think at a policy level, obviously initially a lot of the decisions were driven more from the center side, and I think that was natural in a pandemic situation where you couldn't just leave states to their own devices in a very unusual situation, something that the country had not faced before. Now, of course, once we have a lot of the systems, processes, mechanisms in place, it is much easier to decentralize the decision making, and that's what you would have progressively seen through the lockdowns, that states have had an increasingly greater say, and now most of the decision making regarding the lockdown actually falls within their domain. But I think there are just a couple of things I would highlight on this from the health policy perspective. I think one is we know our existing hotspots, we know the existing sort of large urban centers which have seen high numbers of cases. And I think in these, we'll need to continue to focus on our, testing, tracing, isolation, protecting our most vulnerable, the elderly, those who have comorbidities. So I think that focus will have to very much remain. We can't afford to sort of let go of that focus. Also, urban slums. I think within these centers, we know that urban slums in many areas are proving to be particularly problematic. So in addition to the medical approaches and the preparation we've done on the health system side of ventilators and oxygen supported beds, etc., we must not forget the public health strategies as well. So we'll have to continue to look at aspects like nutrition and other areas, especially with a focus on the urban slums. The second aspect are now states which might see a spike. And, we've been monitoring data on almost a daily basis. And now with the movement of people becoming much more freer, a lot of the migrants moving back to states like Jharkhand and Orissa and Bihar, we might see increases in cases in these areas. So we'd have to be quite vigilant, because these are areas which have previously perhaps not, faced as much of an issue. We'll also have to be vigilant, to what extent is it actually reaching our rural areas? And of course, we have to try and, minimize that to the extent possible. So I think we'll have to use this twofold approach on the health side. One is obviously still focusing on our existing hotspots, but also then, shifting focus to an additional, set of states and cities which now come into the equation much more as we unlock.
Okay. Ms. Singh, I'd like to bring you here in terms of, the key focus areas, as Urvashi is pointing out, the urban slums, the more vulnerable section of the population, such as elderly and those with comorbidities, whom we need to protect, and obviously the hotspot areas. So these are the focus areas from here onwards?
Yes, they are very much. And, as the speaker before has pointed out, that we need to have an overall vigilant outlook with a focus on these areas, of course. But I would say that more or less everybody by now knows the basics. What they need to do is to practice it. And what they need to do is be vigilant for themselves and for people around them. I think that should be able to address a lot of the issues.
Okay, and the center and state coordination and the focus there onwards in terms of the fact that during the first few phases of the lockdown, it was the center government which was driving the decision making and the policy making, but now the state governments and the local administrations also are chipping in, and they will have to take that last mile decision in terms of finally unlocking or allowing certain set of activities or not allowing certain set of activities.
Absolutely.
Okay. Dr. Puneet, In terms of, the
Yes.
way changes have to be brought in from an individual's perspective, now that we are moving into that unlock phase, there needs to be a lot which needs to be done in terms of, having a new attitude towards life, towards oneself, towards humanity. So, key focus areas for the individuals, for the citizen, general citizen. Obviously, all of us rather know by now that, maintaining personal hygiene, social distancing, these are the key drivers. But then apart from that, what more the citizens should do so that we ensure the success of this fight against COVID?
Yes, as you have already mentioned that besides the social distancing, correct use of masks, hand washing, what we else need to do is, I think one most important thing is that they should have the Arogya Setu in their phones. That will help. Then other thing is that not only they should be, each and every person should be, what I should say that it's not the responsibility of only health department or government to watch others. Like if you are coming across a person who's not wearing the mask or not wearing the mask correctly, then it's your responsibility to teach them. Or you find somebody spitting in the open, then it's your responsibility. Don't wait for the police or health authorities. So if you know something, then teach others, make them aware. Make them aware is important, and not to create the panic. Many times people, they convey the news in the sense that it creates more panic than awareness. So I think that is very important step. The other important step is to reduce the social stigma and discrimination. This is a disease anybody can suffer, so we should not discriminate people. Otherwise, people, they will not come up with their symptoms. Again, if they have any symptoms, they should contact the health facilities and make themselves isolated during home quarantine. And if they are sick, go to the hospital. There's one more important thing, that people, they were in the lockdown for very prolonged phase, and now the things, they are opening up. It does not mean they have to go and start gathering and start flooding restaurants and other places. It means that you should travel only when it is necessary. It's not for tourism or anything. It's necessary you travel. If it is necessary to go and eat into restaurant, it's fine. Otherwise, you can order it. Or so we have to avoid all those things. Unlock doesn't mean that you should go and start life what was happening in January or February before lockdown. We have to take the precautions. If we will not take the precaution, then the ultimate motive of this first lockdown and now the government's effort to making the life normal, that will go into vain. So I think those are the steps which are very important. And besides that,
Okay.
I will like to one more thing here. There are a lot of population who are marginalized, underprivileged. So those who can help them, please help them. Please make them aware, and in whatsoever way you can help them, that is also equally important, so that social unrest and those things can be prevented by the effort of
Okay.
each and every citizen of the country.
Okay, so don't only not only be responsible for yourself, but also be responsible for others around you. I'd like to bring in Miss Narayan here, Miss Narayan. But before I ask the question, I'd like to again remind you to please step back a little bit. Yeah, that should be okay. Thank you so much. So your views on two aspects, as one, the way Urvashi was pointing out. Focus in terms of the government and the government agencies right now should be on hotspot areas, vulnerable people, and in terms of our health systems, not only at the center, but at the state level as well. Obviously, we would have learned all those lessons in the past 7 to 8 weeks, what needs to be done and where the focus needs to be.
Okay, thanks again, Vishal. Sorry, I hope you can hear me. Okay.
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
I think again, the 7 or 8 weeks that we sort of bought as a system was in essence to sort of understand this disease, because as you know, when we were locking down, we actually had no idea. All we had was reports on what's going on. There were death rates that were coming from across the world that were extremely scary. So even some of our initial protocols as well as our clinical guidelines, as you are sure have were released. A lot of those have changed and evolved over time. One of the most important ones being where we today have a home quarantine guideline, as you're aware. This is itself a huge step, because today 85 to almost 90% of the cases that we know mild cases, right? In the sense that most of them in fact present with no symptoms, or they're very mild symptoms. We know that in those cases we do not actually have to stress the system, so they do not need to come in even if they are positive and end up risking the spread of it further. So this is a very important part of what we learned. This for us is the bulk of what we see in terms of the number of people. The next set is obviously then going down to the next set of critical, or what we call moderate cases, and then the severe cases. So more, there are severe, and then there are critical cases. The critical cases again is a very small number. So by the time you filter down through the whole population, what we have really learned is, in terms of the management itself, that simply by merely just everybody sitting inside, there is what we've already seen. There is enough spread, right? So spread is in the population. But what we know for a fact is it is not as deadly as we initially, was the whole world was sort of making it out to be. That now gives us the confidence to say that states will obviously have the measures and the tools to implement the necessary safety guidelines as best as they need to, which is why if you look at the MHA guidelines as well, states have the authority to say, if I'm indeed in if there is a zone here that I need to protect, I'm going to then continue to restrict travel, whether it's interstate, whether it's intrastate. I can do what I need to in order to protect that particular population. But for most parts, we can allow what we call normal activities. That too we shall do on an ascending basis. It's not going to be an all open down. So I think what we've understood of the disease is really what's helped us in the last 2 months or so. We've also, on the clinical side, you may be aware, whether it is to do with the prophylactic treatment, whether it's to do with the protection and the PPE acquiring for all of our health workers, whether it is to do with the setup of these large facilities, that have happened in various states, for example, like whether it's in Tamil Nadu or whether it's in Mumbai, for example. We have done, several states have been very creative in the way they are trying to deal with this. So clearly, people feel confident to say that life must begin. And at the same time, we all also know what those trigger points are where we must take a step back and ensure that, we go back and then do the necessary restrictions in terms of movement, in terms of, activity, etc. The people, most importantly, the people of the country have had a chance to sort of also know. And slowly, I think that fear complex has to break. I think that's very important, Vishal. And I think the message is to go out. There are time for fear and time for, very, very paranoid activity has to now stop. And we've got to truly sort of move into now, going out, doing things responsibly, doing things ensuring safety, at the same time, not being victims of fear, because we don't have to, not everybody's going to die of this. I think that's an important message that we need to take out. While obviously, like, my colleague from Niti Aayog was saying, the protection of the vulnerable, whether it's small kids, whether it is people with comorbidities, whether it's people, above 70, 80, you may be aware that 70 to 80, there's a high risk, 80 to 90, there's a higher risk. So if you're above 60, please do not step out of the house. Please really try and restrict your movement inside. So those are the guidelines.
Okay, so definitely very aptly summed up there by Ms. Narayan in terms of what needs to be done by all of us and by the government agencies as well. Concluding comments from you, Urvashi, before we bring this show to an end, in terms of, what more can all of us do? And by all of us, I mean not only the citizens, but also the government agencies, to ensure that we ride out this storm successfully and also make sure that this transition is also done smoothly from lockdown to unlocking one by one.
Yeah, I think, as we've been touching upon through the show, I think now at an overall level, we should have a very hyper localized approach, if we can call it that way, and very data driven, so it's really down not just even to states, but cities within cities. To really decide based on data, based on the situation, what we need to do, how much we need to unlock, what would be the restrictions. So I think that's what we are very much moving towards, at a very higher level. The other aspect, of course, is that we will have to continue to keep a balance with our other health issues as well. And I think that's also something that the health system, continues to obviously grapple with, because we'll have different kinds of health challenges also as we go through the year. We might see, some outbreaks in places of dengue or malaria or chikungunya or various other kinds of illnesses, because it's not all COVID, obviously. So I think, that is obviously a balance, a fine balance that also the health system will need to maintain. And I think finally, as citizens, we just have to be very responsible. A lot of us would have started going back to workplaces, for instance. And I think if we feel any symptoms, we feel unwell, then I think it's our obligation to, inform our workplace to stay at home. So I think a lot of these decisions will now come down to a very individual level. I think the government is continually putting out the broad guidelines, the broad frameworks that we should follow. But I think individuals will have to now take a lot of responsibility as we move into this next phase.
Okay. Thank you so much there, Urvashi, Ms. Narayan, Ms. Padmaja Singh, and Dr. Puneet there as well for sharing your views with us and our viewers as well. Clearly, as all our panelists have pointed out, while the government agencies and the administration everywhere are taking steps to ensure that the systems are in place to make a smooth transition to the unlock phase by phase, one by one, and focus on more vulnerable groups and those hotspot areas as well. But the onus also lies on us, that is you and me as citizens of this country, to behave responsibly, to adhere to the norms, guidelines, be it social distancing, personal hygiene, but also let's be responsible for our own health, and let's also help those who are in need of it. Thank you so much. We'll come back again tomorrow with a different topic. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.